Today's story is so bizarre that 6 feature films and documentaries, 7 books, dozens of studies, and hundreds of articles have been made solely to analyze this crime and its circumstances. This story was also a major factor in the abolition of the death penalty in England. Let me begin, because the subject is vast. Until 1964, Britain had a law punishing murderers and serial killers with the death penalty. In 1948, the murder committed by our hero, Timothy Evans, shook British society to its core. This type of murder, in which a husband kills his wife and infant daughter, was not widely known, led to his death sentence. In 1950, he was executed amidst the jubilation and gloating of all segments of society who sympathized with the murdered wife and infant daughter. I've finished the introduction, and now let's get to the story. The Honorable Timothy was weak and of limited intelligence. He grew up in a poor family. At the age of 24, he met his wife, Pearl Tortley, and they married. They had a beautiful daughter, which forced them to look for a bigger house. Unfortunately for them, they were forced to rent a floor in a 3-story villa. The ground floor was occupied by a man named John Christie and his wife Ethel. Problems increased between Timothy and his wife and worsened when he learned that she was pregnant again. Their neighbor, Chris, played the role of a dove of peace, always intervening to reconcile them. This time, he convinced Timothy and his wife that he was a natural expert in abortions, which were prohibited by the government at the time. I would like to shed some light on our neighbor, Christie, who was in his early 40s. He was short, sharp-witted, and strong-built, a result of his previous work in the Army and his participation in World War I. He had a strange problem. He could only have sex with a woman who was either asleep or dead. Yes, I heard that. And this created the monster inside him. Chris's first victim was an Austrian immigrant who worked in a factory during the day and was a friend of the students at night. He met her in one of the bartender took her home, and when he failed to have sex with her alive, he strangled her. After completing his mission, he buried her in the back garden of his house. The second victim was his co-worker, who was complaining of chest pains. Of course, the compassionate Chris convinced her that he had a special gas in the house that would cure chest pains. When she went home with him, he gave her a coal exhaust pipe, which was then used for heating and cooking. She fainted, and he immediately began raping her. When she woke up and was suffering from hysteria, he strangled her with a rope and then buried her in the garden.